Alright guys, so today I'm taking a look at a very small Bluetooth earbud set, case and everything. So it takes about 2 hours to charge the case, about an hour and a half to charge the earbuds. They're actually charging now. You can see the little indicators. Pairing is very easy. You know, when I pull these out, they turn on. You can see the little indicator right there, and they go into pairing mode. They do have a magnetic, attachment to the case, so they won't fall out. And I'm not closing this lid. I'll get into that in a moment. Let's talk about some other aspects first. So it comes with a micro USB charging cable. It comes with these little ear caps, which is what I call them, the little rubber pieces that are right here, that are 3 different sizes: small, medium, large, so you can find the size that fits best for you. And then it has a little instruction manual. So these are very clear, so that's very good, and they actually look pretty good. But beyond that, honestly, for me, I don't like to be negative about products, but I like to be honest, and these are definitely not my favorite by far. So they are rated for about a 2.5, 3 hour use, maybe 4 hours. It really depends on what you're doing, whether it's music or calls, and what combination of music and calls you use them for, and what volume level you use them at. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, they do use the micro USB cable that's included, or your own, to plug in right there. And again, they are very small, so not a problem. So here's why I say these are probably not my favorite, or not one of my favorite of all these small ones. I like taking a look at these, to use them for a little while, and then I give them to someone, or someone will buy them for me for a few bucks or something. Sometimes people offer me a few bucks for some of these things. But that's the nice thing about reviewing different products. You get to experience a large variety. And these are probably not one of my favorite experiences. This is why. Number one, let me take the buds out first. So when they go into your ear, I just can't find a very comfortable fit for me personally, and that might be my ear. They kind of sit into your ear, but then they kind of push themselves back out no matter what I do. It doesn't matter what size ear cap. They just don't want to sit really well for me and my ears. So I don't find these to be comfortable in that regard, because they're not secure. You know, I want to be comfortable in knowing that I can use these without them falling out, but I feel like they're always just kind of sliding out slowly. I can get them to stay, but I don't feel like they'll stay in, a long term. And if I start talking or eating or just, moving my jaw, I'm moving my ear a little bit, whenever you're doing that, and I feel like it's just going to work its way loose. I'm not happy about that. So that's kind of a negative for me. As far as pushing the buttons on the side, I've tried, different pushing the buttons and different things. You're supposed to be able to pull like Siri and different things, Google, and all that. And I haven't observed that actually happening with my Note 9. So, and I've tried it with both, back and forth. You can play and pause and do different things with the button presses, whether it's long or short presses and different things, double presses, and answer reject calls, So there's some functionality, but not everything that I expect. So that's a little disappointing. So now that I've taken that out and show you, what it looks like in my ear and spoken about that, I can put it back into the case. When I put it back in the case, it automatically begins charging. There's a button here you can push, turns on the little blue light, as you can see, and then they'll go solid white when they're finished. So I'm going to close this now, and this is where I don't like this case. So if I close this case, you may have heard a little tiny click. So it's closed, but now, I don't know if you can really even make out. See that tiny sliver of an opening right there? That's where you're supposed to get in and open it. But the thing is there's nothing to grab hold of. So when I'm holding it here on this side and I go to pull, my finger just slides right off like this every time. So it's really difficult. I dropped it. I didn't mean to do that. See, that's what I'm saying. It's very difficult for me, at least, to open it. So I'm going to hold it against my chest right here. Okay, so that's way more effort than is required. There should be a small button or a larger indentation, some type of texture, something to make this so that your fingers aren't just sliding off, because this is very slick, smooth plastic. It's It's a hard plastic. There's no rubberized texture to it, so there's no grip. And this is just a super thin, as you can see, you know, kind of a cover. So, you know, if you lay it down like that, it's fine. But as soon as you snap it, it's just a tiny amount of friction that holds it shut, which is sufficient to hold it shut. I mean, it's not going to just fall open. But that's also the downfall, because it's very difficult to open, for me at least, with no fingernails. Maybe if you have fingernails, you can get, you know, up under this and pop it open. Maybe it opens up easier for you. But by any means, not the longest amount of time for usage, not the easiest to use, not the best fit, for me at least. So your mileage may vary, but they do have very clear sound. They have no real bass at all that I've observed. I even tried doing like specific bass test, you know, songs that I know have a lot of bass, especially with other headphones, and even some small headphones I've used in the past, and these just don't give me any bass at all. They do give me very good clarity, and they do give stereo sound, so you can use, you know, one or both, you know, whatever you like, so that's good. But yeah, I just wanted to be brutally honest, I guess, about these. I'm just not impressed. I'm very disappointed in these compared to some of the other smaller units that I've had like this. I find the buttons a little hard to press when they're in my ear compared to some of the others. I mean, it's just a multitude of things that I'm not as happy about these. I appreciate them shooting out a sample for me to check out, and I wished I had a better, you know, result so that I could just, you know, help them maybe with their sales and everything. But sometimes a product just doesn't live up to what your expectations are. This is the case for me. Your mileage, like I said, may vary. So if you want to find out more about these, there's going to be a link below the video. You can read other reviews, check out some of the other specifications. But I mean, connectivity seems to be fine, clarity is fine, so no complaints. But if you're looking for bass, or if you're looking for a long-term use, these may not be for you. Because they don't stay in my ear very well, I wouldn't think they'd be great for an active individual, but like if you get a little bit of a rain or a little bit of sweat, these shouldn't be a problem for you in that regard. So anyway, that is pretty much my report on these. Good luck getting these things open. I'll deal with it later. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful, and if you want to find out more, check out the link below. Thanks.